Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos reveals being bullied. Going on TV opens the doors to the entire world being able to judge and criticize. When Joan Vassos was on The Golden Bachelor, she didn't receive a ton of backlash. During her starring season as the first Golden Bachelorette, though, she has gotten plenty of online slack, and now she's speaking out. Read on to find out what happened. Joan Vassos claps back at haters. Joan recently took to social media to address all of the hate she's received on the internet. She sat with her daughter Allison in her car and explained that she gets negative DMs regularly. Vassos even exposed the private messages from haters who've dragged the reality TV star for several things, including her appearance and her choices in men. "The bullying has shocked me, and I have to say it does hurt my feelings," she vented in her Instagram video. Joan also shared that she assumed that once she hit her 60s, bullying wouldn't even be an issue anymore. Her daughter chimed into the conversation, calling the critics miserable and saying that she doesn't think it's cool to come after her mom or anyone else. From the very beginning, when it comes to the online hate against Joan Vassos, it's been going on for months now. In fact, it started before The Golden Bachelorette even premiered. After it was announced that Joan was going to be the leading lady, people were furious. She self-eliminated in week 12 of her original season because she wasn't in the competition long, and fans got to know several other women much more than her. It became a confusing casting decision. Vassos is right in saying that viewers have been calling her out throughout the entire season thus far. In recent episodes, she's been accused of only being about the money when it comes to choosing her favorite contestants. Her future in reality TV. Joan Vassos hasn't revealed whether or not she wants to continue in reality TV after The Golden Bachelorette. Because she's been experiencing bullying, Vassos might not be interested in staying in the public eye. Nevertheless, if she does get engaged on the series, there's not much of a choice. Even if she declines the idea of an on-camera wedding ceremony, fans will continue to follow her relationship with her future partner in any way they can. If she does decide to stay on TV, there are a lot of options for more appearances. One competition series that many stars from the Bachelor franchise have been on is DGTS. In season 33, Joey Grazietti and Jen Tran are competing against each other on the dance floor. Joan Vassos may have entered the Golden Bachelorette mansion in a sparkling gown and radiant smile, but behind her composed grace was a heart weighed down by a truth she kept to herself. Until now. In a raw and unexpected revelation, Joan sat down during a quiet, candlelit confessional segment. The kind Bachelor Nation fans know always comes with a twist, and opened up about something far more painful than any rose ceremony rejection. "I've never talked about this publicly," Joan began, eyes shimmering not with the usual joy of hopeful romance, but with the sting of long-held hurt. "But when I first stepped into this journey, I wasn't welcomed with open arms by everyone." Her voice trembled, but she didn't flinch. "They didn't think I belonged here." For many watching from home, Joan has been a symbol of strength, elegance, and second chances. At 61, a widow and mother of 4, she'd shown America that love doesn't expire with age, and neither does the right to chase it. But inside the mansion's golden-hued walls, not every suitor, or even fellow castmate, seemed ready to embrace her light. "It started small," Joan continued. "Little comments, side glances, things whispered in corners." She shared how, in the early days of filming, some of the male contestants implied she was too emotional or too much in the past for this kind of adventure. One even allegedly suggested she was just trying to fill a void instead of truly seeking love, a statement that struck Joan harder than anyone realized. "It wasn't always direct," she admitted, "but you can feel when people are trying to diminish you, when they want to chip away at your confidence. I could hear them when they didn't know I was listening." In the world of Bachelor Nation, drama is practically part of the curriculum. But this wasn't your typical champagne stealing, group date jealousy kind of tension. This was something deeper. Something laced with ageism, quiet cruelty, and the false belief that softness equals weakness. One source close to production, who wished to remain anonymous, confirmed to us that Joan's early weeks were unsettlingly icy behind the scenes, especially from certain contestants who expected a different kind of lead, someone more flirtatious, someone they could control. But Joan, she was never going to be that woman. Instead, she led with empathy. She paused to ask how each man's day was going. She remembered birthdays, laughed at dad jokes, cried when one contestant opened up about losing his own wife. And maybe that's what unsettled some of them. She wasn't playing a role. She was just real. The bullying wasn't just about exclusion, Joan said. It was about trying to make me question my own worth. She recounted one especially painful night where, after sending a man home for manipulative behavior, he allegedly told her on his way out, "You'll regret this when they all walk out on you." Joan paused. And for a moment, I believed him. The camera caught her fingers gently clasped together, as though holding her own heart in place. But then I remembered why I said yes to this journey in the first place. And that reason, she said, was love, not just romantic love, but self-love. The kind that takes years to build back after heartbreak, loss, and silence. I spent so many years putting everyone else first. My children, my husband when he was sick. I forgot what it meant to want something for me, this show. It was my way of choosing myself. She added, with a bittersweet smile. And choosing myself meant I had to learn how to stand tall, even when others tried to make me feel small. As the episode aired, social media erupted. Hashtags like #AStandWithJoan and #GoldenJustice began trending. Fans, many of them women over 50, flooded platforms with messages of support, sharing their own stories of being dismissed, underestimated, or bullied in the workplace, in dating, or simply for aging unapologetically. "I know exactly what she means," wrote one viewer on X, formerly Twitter. "Women like Joan paved the way for the rest of us. Shame on anyone who made her feel unworthy." Even former Golden Bachelor contestants weighed in, with Leslie Fema posting, "Joan is everything this franchise needs. She's class, strength, and resilience. Let's lift her up." As for Joan herself, she seems determined to move forward with grace, but not without leaving a message behind for the ones who tried to tear her down. "You don't have to like me," she said during her confessional, "but you will respect me." She added, eyes burning with conviction, "I've been through harder things than this, losing the love of my life, raising kids alone, starting over in my 60s. I'm still here, still standing, and I'm not going anywhere." The teaser for next week's episode shows Joan confronting one of the men who allegedly contributed to the early hostility, her voice steady as she asks him to explain his words. The promo ends just as he stumbles to answer, with the dramatic music swelling. But Joan? She doesn't need music to make a moment powerful. She is the moment. Through it all, she's turning pain into purpose, not just for herself, but for the millions of women who finally feel seen because of her. And if there's one thing the Golden Bachelorette just made very clear, it's this: you can't dull a golden heart.